Hey everybody, I'm Dan Avington of Marquette Athletics. This is part two of the Marquette Men's Lacrosse Check-In series where we're talking to some different players about the abrupt end of last season, how they're keeping themselves busy during quarantine, and their outlook for next season with a lot of uncertainty still in the mix. Today I'm talking to attackman Devon Cowan, who had his first season cut short by the COVID-19 outbreak. Devon, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing all right. So just to start us off generally here, what was your first season like, especially with such a weird ending to it?
There's a ton of mixed emotions that I think about when it comes to this season. I mean, I look back to the start and, it's your freshman season. This is like one of the biggest learning curves for me, at least. Coming into college, you have a whole new team. You have a whole bunch of new kids that you're trying to get this chemistry with. And to have it cut short really stinks and really puts a damper on that, obviously. I don't know how many people would argue that, but it was an awesome season while it lasted, and I wish we could have finished it out.
You set a Marquette record with 5 points in your debut, and you finished second on the team in points for the year. What was it like getting a lot of attention from opposing defenses as only a freshman?
It was really interesting because, as a freshman, you're really nervous. It's like your first year to show everybody what you got. And, I can't thank my team enough. They're the ones who really helped me get to this point because without them always keeping me up and confident, always, being super positive. The coaches always have my back, always keeping me pushing forward rather than, yelling at me and holding me back. Everyone has been such a good influence on me and has allowed me to perform the way I did this season.
And not only were you a freshman, but you played as part of the only all-freshman attack in all of NCAA Division I. How do you think your group meshed, and what excites you about potentially 4 more years now with Chris Kirschner, Jake Stegman, plus Griffin Fries and Max Krzyzewski?
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool when I heard somebody say that we were the only fully freshman lineup on attack in Division One was really, really nice to hear. I mean, I never really thought of it when we were actually playing, like, wow, like we're all freshmen because, all the guys, like I said, our team's super positive, holds everyone up. And I feel like everyone was really comfortable and confident in us, just like we were confident in ourselves. And I think that is a huge aspect to our potential success in the future because I know all of the guys, like you said, Jake Stegman, Griffin Fries, Chris Kirschner, and Max, we're all putting in a lot of work, and we know after this season, seeing what we did, we have high expectations for the next upcoming year. So I think it's going to be a good one.
As we just mentioned, there was a lot of youth in the offense, but there were also a few important veteran players like Ryan Fazio, Peter Hankhouse, Connor McClellan. How did those guys help you acclimate to the pace of the college level and just the college game in general?
Oh man, those guys are the best. They really paved the path for all of us. I think they took a lot of the pressure, stress, anxiety, everything you have before a game, and completely took that away from us. They would always talk to us, tell us just to do our thing, not think about anything else, just follow the game plan, just like our coaches say too. So, all the credit goes to those guys because without them, there's no way we could have done what we've done this year.
All three of those guys are coming back for a fifth year, plus some older guys are returning from injury as well. How excited are you to have this entire offense back for a second run?
Oh, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. There's big things to come. And what's really nice about having those guys back is the incoming freshmen will be able to see that the path that those guys have paved for all of us, all the years below them. So it's really nice having an older roster come back, and I am beyond excited.
Getting back to this season, the year obviously ended abruptly for the team. What do you remember about how things played out there at the end?
It was a really weird ending. I think it was weird for everybody because of how fast and how abrupt this coronavirus came along. We were obviously mid-season, some teams just getting started. It's crazy that we were all there. We're all in season, in shape, focused, and then one day it's just time to go home. So we had that last Michigan game right before we were all sent home. And there was a weird feeling with all this coronavirus talk coming out and we kind of had an idea that it was going to end, but obviously no one knew for sure what was going to happen. So for all of it to come to an end, it was really hard for all of us.
Obviously, the lacrosse season ended weirdly, and the academic year did as well. How did that kind of end for you, and what have you focused on during your time at home?
So the academic year ended pretty solid for me. I mean, with lacrosse that takes so much of our time during the school year, having that taken away, pretty much had the rest of the time to focus on school. So ended pretty strongly on that, and definitely had a good time with being home. Got to do a lot of fishing and hanging out with a few friends and most of my family. So I'm a big outdoorsman, so to be alone and fishing, it wasn't the worst thing in the world for me.
You're already a really strong student. You had a 4.0 GPA in that first semester. How are you able to balance being a Division I athlete as well as keeping up a GPA like that?
I think a lot of the credit is due to our staff, not just our coaching staff, not just the people who work in the athletic department, but a lot of people in our academic department. We have so many resources. A lot of thanks goes out to Katie Semet, completely communicating everything that we need to do, everything that we need to get done, and she holds us all to a high standard. So a lot of credit goes out to them, and just working hard and finding that balance. That's really the key, in college in general, finding the balance between school and academics and athletics. That you can credit that to.
You talked earlier about being an outdoorsman. So what kinds of things do you like to do in your free time?
Yeah, I'm a big outdoorsman. Hunting and fishing, that's all me. So pretty much any excuse I can use to get out in the woods, go hiking, kayaking. It's not hunting season right now, but fishing is all in, freshwater, saltwater, anything. So any excuse I can get out into nature, I'll do.
Do you have any favorite places to fish or hunt?
Yeah, I actually, me and my family, we've got a farm in Leonardville, Kansas. It's a small town in the middle of nowhere for some people, but I love spending my time out there and doing those activities.
What kind of game do you target specifically?
Hunting wise, definitely whitetail deer. That's definitely our focus. But fishing, ever since I've been a little kid, me and my dad have always gone bass fishing. So I'd probably say target those two.
Obviously, you said it's not hunting season right now, but have you been able to do much fishing during quarantine, or was that also restricted?
No, quarantine is pretty nice because, although there's the stay-at-home order and obviously you can't get close to people at a time like this, it was really easy for me to go to some local spots not too far from my house, and obviously I don't have to be surrounded by people to go fishing. So even though it was tough not seeing a lot of the people that I love and care about, and even some of my best friends on the lacrosse team, it was nice to go get out and get in the fresh air and do some fishing.
Talking a little more about off the field stuff, we're actually from pretty close to each other. I'm from Bucks County, PA, in case you couldn't tell by all the Phillies banners behind me. You're from South Jersey. Yeah. Which of the pro teams do you support?
Oh, I'm all Philly.
Good. Very good.
I'm all Philly.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
I asked this question last week to Zach Granger, but if you think, or which team out of the 4 Philadelphia sports teams do you think will win a professional title next? He said the Flyers. He thinks the Flyers have the best chance to win the first one. So what's your thought?
I was just about to say I'd definitely go with the Flyers. I would definitely go with the Flyers. They had a strong year, and it was tough to see it all end because I was really rooting for them and following them.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing Flyers shirt right now. So
there you go.
I agree. So getting back to some Marquette stuff, obviously the last 2 months have been a challenging time for everybody. Have you had any time to reflect on how your Marquette experience has shaped you, even though you're only 1 year in?
Yeah, I mean, I think with this whole pandemic and how fast everything just came to an end, it's been on everybody's minds. I think that a lot of what we were given and, even what we've earned to get up to this point, to come to an awesome school like Marquette, you think about everything that you have taken for granted. Obviously there's hard days in the weight room, on the field, in the classroom. But even with all those hard days, I miss it. I miss it. It's an experience that I hope doesn't get taken away from the younger class, with this whole craziness we have going on in our world with the pandemic and everything. But I definitely think that this freshman year was a huge learning curve, both academically and athletically. And man, am I excited to go back.
All right. Well, that's all that I got. Thanks again for joining me today, Devin.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.